This is I believe this was a Scripps or Ipsos or one of those polls. They talked, because when you look at issues, that's where you're really going to get your important data. And the Democrats want you to believe that the biggest issue facing voters today is abortion and women's reproductive rights. They believe that abortion is the single biggest, that's what's going to win or lose them this race, is whether or not they can get abortion on the ballot. And if they can make people think that abortion is the single most important threat we have to this country, or the taking away of abortion, or the federal abortion ban is the single biggest threat we have to Americans, then they'll win. But look at this poll that Scripps Ipsos released about immigration.
We found some really interesting numbers, especially when it comes to this idea of mass deportations. This is something that has been central to Donald Trump's campaign. We saw it at the Republican convention, the people holding signs advocating for the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. And look at these numbers out just this morning. It shows a majority of Americans support mass deportations for undocumented immigrants. This poll was taken after that first debate. It was at the height of some of that controversy dealing around Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. So it's a huge issue in the campaign right now. And these numbers reflect just how much of a priority it is. But one of the more interesting things is when you break it down by party. Yes, it is driven mostly by Republicans. Nearly 90% of Republicans say they support it. But look at independents, 58%, more than half of independents say they're also in support. And even Democrats, a quarter of Democrats supporting either somewhat supportive or strongly supportive.
Let me pause here for just a minute. Let me go back to the poll. This is important to note, because this isn't support deportation of undocumented immigrants. This isn't support deportation of criminals who are in this country illegally. Okay? This is Donald Trump's mass deportations, Donald Trump's largest deportation effort in American history. This is not, we're going to deport 1 million people. This is massive deportations of undocumented immigrants. What do you think? 86% of Republicans, probably not surprising. 58% of independents. 58%. That is not just the majority of independents. That is a large majority of independents. That's 8 percentage points over half. And the independents are the ones that everybody tells you need to win this election. If you can't get the independents, then you're not going to win Pennsylvania. You're not going to win Wisconsin. You're not going to win Michigan. You're not going to win Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, Georgia. You need independent voters. And Donald Trump is out there saying two things on day one. We're going to close the border. We're going to drill, baby, drill. And then, my friends, my fellow Americans, we are going to mount the largest deportation effort in the history of this country. And this brand new poll shows that 86% of Republicans are all about a mass deportation event. 58% of independents are all about a mass deportation event. And wouldn't you know it, a quarter of Democrats, 1 out of 4 Democrats support not deportation, but like massive deportation. That's how bad it's gotten for the Democrat Party.
Of mass deportation. I think that's a number that jumped out at a lot of us, a lot higher than you would think, given the current rhetoric from both parties.
There you go. Yeah, we thought that's a lot higher than we thought. We didn't think 1 in 4 Democrats would be for massive deportations, and we're panicked that 58% of independents support Donald Trump in his mass deportation efforts. Look at this Rasmussen poll. This is from September 16th. Look at this. It shows you Harris, Trump, all the way from July 23rd. July 23rd, it was 53-37. On September 16th, it was 52-46. Donald Trump is basically flat with 53% of the vote. Yes, he's gone up and down. She's gone up, and then down. But this is a wide margin here. 52 to 46% is 6 percentage points. And I know that because it says it right next there. 6 percentage points. That's a pretty wide gap. That's not the gap you're hearing about on the news. That's not the gap you're hearing about on these other polls. But I want you to really, this is the important thing, because as we say repeatedly, it's not about the popular vote. Most presidents who win the popular vote don't win the election, especially Republicans, because everyone in LA, everyone in New York, they're all voting for Democrats. All those crazy people in Portland and Washington State, they're all voting blue for some reason because, I don't know, they're just masochists. Who knows? They don't like money. I don't know. They don't like personal safety. I don't know what it is, but they're all voting blue. So you have to look at the states that are purple, the states that can win this thing. Georgia, we believe Donald Trump will win. North Carolina, we believe Donald Trump will win. Arizona, pretty confident. Nevada, it's been up or down, but the other day, CBS couldn't find they found one single Harris voter in the diner in Nevada, so that doesn't bode well for her campaign. And then the Rust Belt, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. But it turns out that's not all there is. Look at this. This is Nate Silver, who is the Democrats' favorite pollster. This is from September 15th. This is post-debate. This had Nate Silver angry at a lot of people. A lot of people saw this map and they were like, Nate Silver is on crack. Nate Silver has been hanging out with Hunter Biden and getting into his stash. Because Nate Silver has called a lot of these states, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, for Donald Trump. Look at the totals. 312 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 226 for Kamala Harris. Reminder, it only takes 270 to win. Nate Silver, who's no friend of the Republicans, he's no friend of Donald Trump. Nate Silver doesn't like Republicans. His polls are, yes, somewhat inaccurate, but he also plays a part in forming the ideas of the American electorate, like it or not. And this election map shows that Donald Trump doesn't just win the election, but pummels the Democrats in the election, in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Nevada, in Arizona. And I want you to look in the corner. Look all the way in the right. Is that Maine? Is that Maine? Who has Maine going red? Nate Silver. Maine. Look at that. Tucker Carlson moves back home to Maine, starts doing a podcast out of his log cabin, and all of a sudden Maine is in play. All of a sudden Maine is a red state. I'm still holding out hope for New Hampshire. I'd like New Hampshire to be red. There's no reason why Maine and New Hampshire shouldn't both be red. Well, Maine District 1 is still blue, but the other two electoral votes go to Donald Trump. This is crisis time for Kamala Harris. This is the time that the Kamala Harris campaign, if they want any chance of winning this election, they've got to figure out a way to get their candidate to make some kind of plan, go out there and accurately profess it to people and not sound like she's been doing shots of Jaeger all morning when she's trying to make the points that she believes are going to win her the election.
It was school photo day. You remember what that's like? Going to school on picture day? Who were dressed up in their best, got all ready, knew what they were going to wear the night before.
That's the kind of statement that you hear come out of the mouth of one of your friends right before you have to hold her hair back while she yaks in the toilet. I'm just saying. That's the kind of stuff that people say when you're taking their shoes off and laying them down on the couch and trying to find a blanket and going, sleep it off. Sleep it off. That's exactly they mumble that kind of, do you remember school picture day? I do. We'll just get some sleep. Just gets, and everyone got dressed in their best. Yep, we remember, Kamala. You just sleep it off. I'm going to turn off the light. There's a bucket here if you need it, okay? Try to get to the bathroom, but I left the bucket here if you need it. Anyway, that's